Hello everyone, welcome to the Canadian Edge. Time for another knife review, and the knife on the table today is the SOG Terminus. And I've been carrying this one around for the last couple weeks, checking it out and opening packages and different things with it. And so we're going to look today at what it has to offer. If you've been enjoying these videos, I would ask that you hit the like and subscribe and leave a comment. Love to hear from you. So let's get into it, see what this has. The SOG Terminus XR. It has a blade length of 2.95 inches. Open, it is 7.21 inches and closed 4.26 inches. This particular one has the D2 steel on it, and apparently you can get them with the S35 VN steel as well, which I wouldn't mind owning that either. It'd be a nice steel to have. The weight on it is 3.2 ounces. The handle is a G10. It's got skeletonized liners, stainless steel liners on the inside. I don't know if the light, if you can quite grasp those, maybe a little bit there, I guess you can kind of see. So it does have the skeletonized liners on the inside, and it does have a bit of a diamond pattern on the G10 to give you some grip on there. So that's always nice. The pocket clip, it is a short one, but it is a stainless steel, considered deep carry, and it is reversible. So lefties, you can use this knife ambidextrously and flip it over to carry in your pocket left-handed. And of course it has the SOG emblem on it. That makes it look good. And the opening on this, it is, you got a couple different things. You can either use the flipper tab to open that, which has a little jimping on there. You can use the dual thumb studs, or you can open it like a Benchmade and pull the lock back to open it. I prefer the flipper myself, but it does work. Kind of. Oh, sorry, that was my fault. And there it flips open with the thumb studs. And see if I can get it to flip. Nope. My bad. It doesn't have quite the release like the Benchmade does. It has a bit of a detent there, as you can see, so if you get it right, it will come out, and you can open and close it just by flicking the lock back. So it gives you a little bit of versatility, but I find for my purposes the flipper works great, and that is what I use most of the time. And as I was saying about the locking system, they call it the XR lock. It is very similar to the Axis lock that Benchmade uses on a lot of their knives. And so yeah, it's a nice locking system. I like that kind of lock, although I have to be honest, I carry so many liner locks that I keep pushing to push the liner down so that I can close the blade. But I really like that locking system. It does have jimping on the back of it as well for a little extra grip, and it has a bit of a choil area here that you could put your finger there. You'd want to be careful though, because you are right up to the blade, the cutting edge of the blade. So you'd want to be careful if you're using that, but it does give you an extra grip on the knife. So so yeah, I've been carrying this now for the last 2 weeks, I guess, and it's been working good. There's no blade play, which is nice, and the blade lines up reasonably well down the middle. It's as close as you can get it, I think, without being measuring. So yeah, it is well built, and I have a couple SOG knives, and I've found them to be quite durable, well built knives, and no problems with them so far. And I've had them quite a while, so yeah, it seems to be a decent knife, and it works great for opening boxes and letters and different things like that. Let's look at a size comparison. Some of you are familiar with the Ontario Rat 2, so they are basically the same size. It doesn't quite look like it in the video, but they're pretty much the same length. The SOG comes out a little bit because of the pocket clip, but other than that, they are pretty darn close to the same size. And the Civivi Elementum, again, it's pretty close to the same size. The Civivi is slightly smaller than the Terminus. And one last one is the Spyderco Tenacious. So you can see the Spyderco has a slight edge on the SOG. It is a little bit longer, both in the handle and in the blade. So it's a good mid-size knife, and it's a good size for me. I like the size. It fits in my hand very well, and I guess, a medium hand, I would say. And so I like the aesthetics of the knife. It's a good looking knife. I like the swedge that they have on the top. I got the black out version so that I like the black. It looked better to me. It's just a personal choice. They have a bevel here on the liners, so they're on the scales, so that you can get a nice comfortable grip. They have a bevel up on the top as well to make it comfortable. It's kind of a rounded edge to it. I like the jimping, gives it good ergonomics, and the way it's set up, it feels good. You get a lot of downward push with the way you hold this knife, and the flipper provides a little bit of a finger guard so that you're a little bit safer as well. Also, I like the lock on this. Sometimes I find that the liner locks, they'll recess them or make them flush and they're sometimes hard to get at. This is very easy to get at, no problem opening and closing with that. And I like the grip. It's a good grip. You got a sure grip with the checkered pattern on there, or the diamond pattern, so it's easy to hang on to. And I like that. I like a knife that doesn't feel slippery in your hand. So that works for me. A couple of the things that I didn't really like is that it could be just me in part. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just something I find I have to hook the pocket clip and pull it up when I want to pull the knife out, because it really grips. It's not super stiff, but it's stiff enough. And then with the diamond pattern on there, it really grips your pocket. So I found that I had to pull it up and out of the pocket to get it out easily enough. And also I've found, I don't know if you can see, there's some finishing. The black didn't quite take on there, and down here, and also if you can see a bit on the edge here. Well, I guess that's more just gumminess on the edge, but the black didn't quite cover all of the knife. I found different little patches where you can see the stainless, or the the silver underneath. So not a big deal. It's just an aesthetic thing. Doesn't in any way affect the function or durability of the knife. It's just completely aesthetic. And it does have a backspacer with the open spine there, so that makes cleaning things out a little easier, but it also probably gets more stuff in it because that's open too. So you will have to clean it out once in a while. Pocket lint, not a big deal. Sharpness. Let's take a look at the sharpness of this. I found it worked fairly well for what I was doing, and it does cut paper. So there we go. That was a better slice of the paper. And as far as good old zip ties, haven't cut one of those yet. Let's see what it does. It goes through there fairly easily. I just have to be careful because I don't have the control that I should have. Oh, geez, went through that without any effort at all. And let's try the nylon cord. Again, I just pulled it back and through. So it does come fairly sharp from the factory. One of the things that I'm a little disappointed with, the pivot does work well, but it's not as smooth as I would like. When I consider, that knife and this knife are basically the same price, this one, the pivot on it glides. It's really amazing pivot. This one, it is smooth, but it feels like there's hesitation there, that it just doesn't glide quite like the Civivi does. So I'd like to see them do a little more with the pivot on these. And I haven't taken this apart to see actually what's in there. I may at some point do that to see what they have in there for a pivot. But don't get me wrong, it does work well. As you can see, it's not hard to open. It just doesn't have that glide for a knife that's close to $100 Canadian. Well, $75 Canadian. I would like to see it be a little smoother with the technology that we have today available to us. But again, that's a personal thing, because it opens every time. I don't have any problem opening it. If it doesn't open, it's usually user error. So that is the SOG Terminus, and they are a very nice knife. I would definitely recommend them as an EDC for anybody looking for a mid-sized EDC. And like I say, SOG, as far as my experience, they are reliable knives, and I think you would enjoy them, especially if you like the XR lock or the similar to the Axis lock. It makes it a lot easier to work with. So SOG Terminus XR. Check them out. They are available in lots of sporting stores and knife stores. Yeah, they're a good purchase. I think you'll enjoy them. And so I'll be doing another knife review in a couple days. Until then, I'm going to say stay safe and stay sharp. And a little knife tip is don't use your knives for prying. I never do, but I want to encourage, I've talked to a few people lately who've had to regrind the tips on their knives because they've used them for prying. A knife is not a pry tool. Get a screwdriver or a pry bar, but not your knife. So just a little tip. But until we meet next time, you stay safe, stay sharp, and we'll see you again. Thanks for watching.